Most home buyers start the home buying process by looking at houses. They jump on Zillow, they scroll through pictures, they look at kitchens and pools and backyards, bonus rooms, neighborhoods, and sometimes even monthly payment estimates that may not actually be a reality. And I get it. That is the fun part. Nobody gets excited about interviewing a mortgage professional. Nobody wakes up on a Saturday saying, man, I'd love to go in debt for 30 years. Or, you know what would sound amazing? Let's compare lenders today and figure out which one communicates better and which one's the better advisor. But before you fall in love with a house, before you tour homes, before you start thinking about paint colors and where the couch is going to go, you need to choose the right people to guide you. Because buying a home is not just about finding the right property, it is about having the right team around you so that you do not make an expensive mistake or miss an important deadline, end up overpaying, be underprepared, or end up stressed out because nobody explained what was really happening. That is what we're going to talk about today. How do you choose the right realtor and the right mortgage professional before you buy a home? I'm Dustin Owen, and this is The D.O. Show. They don't teach this shit in school, but they should. I'm Dustin Owen, and for the past 20 years, the mortgage industry has been my classroom. I've helped over 2,000 families become homeowners, built a $1 billion mortgage operation from scratch, and earned my way into the top 1% of income earners worldwide. Along the way, I became a real estate investor, a business owner, and have invested in over 20 tech startups, even hitting a 20x return on one of my investments. This isn't theory, it's experience. Welcome to The D.O. Show, where I teach the lessons life taught me the hard way. Let's start with something simple. Your realtor and your mortgage professional are two of the most important people in your home buying process. They are not just there to open doors and push paperwork. At least they shouldn't be. A great realtor helps you understand the local market, evaluate homes, structure your offer, negotiate terms, spot red flags, and make smart decisions when emotions start running high. A great mortgage professional helps you understand what you can afford, what loan options are available, how much money you need, what your payment will look like, and what needs to happen so your financing does not blow up halfway through the transaction. Together, they protect you. That's the point. They are not supposed to just help you buy a house. They're supposed to help you buy the right house the right way with the least amount of unnecessary drama possible. Look, some stress is normal. Buying a home is a big decision. There are a lot of moving parts. But there is a difference between normal home buying stress and chaos caused by the wrong people being involved. So let's talk about what you should actually look for. First, let's start with your realtor. A good realtor should do more than unlock doors. Opening the door is the easy part. A lockbox can do that. We do not need to throw a party for a realtor because they can open a door for you. A good realtor should understand the market you are buying in. They should know what homes are selling for. They should understand how competitive the area is. They should be able to explain whether a home is priced fairly, overpriced, or likely to move quickly. Some of the best realtors even have insights on new inventory before it even comes on the market. They should help you understand the difference between a list price and the actual market value. Those are not always the same thing, by the way. A home can be listed for $500,000 but only be worth $475,000, or a home can be listed at $500,000 and have multiple offers by Sunday night because buyers see value there. Your realtor should help you understand all of those nuances. They should also help you think through offer strategy. Not just, what do you want to offer? That's not guidance. That is handing the decision back to you. A good realtor should walk you through the options. Should you offer full price? Should you ask for seller credits? Should you ask for repairs? Should you shorten inspection timelines? What about including appraisal gap language? Should you just walk away? Should you compete aggressively? Should you slow down? Those are the conversations you want your realtor to lead you through. That does not mean they make the decision for you. After all, it's your house. It's your money. It's your life, not their life. But they should educate you so you can make a better decision. That is the major difference. A good realtor is not just a salesperson. A good realtor is an advisor. They should also be willing to tell you the truth. You do not want someone who just says yes to everything just to get you under contract. If the house has obvious issues, they should point them out. If the neighborhood does not fit what you said you wanted, they should talk you through that thought process. If you are getting emotionally attached and about to overpay, they should help you slow down and look at the numbers. If the home is a bad fit, they should be willing to say that. Not in a pushy way, not in a controlling way, but in a professional way. The best realtors protect their clients from bad decisions, even when those clients are excited. Because buyers, y'all can get very emotional. You walk into a house, you love the kitchen, the backyard looks perfect, the primary bathroom has the shower you've always wanted, and suddenly you're ready to ignore the roof, the fact that the insurance is going to be super expensive, the commute is nowhere close to what you want it to be, and the layout actually makes no sense. That's where a strong realtor steps in. They help balance emotion with reality. Now, you're probably wondering, what are some of the realtor red flags? One is that they rush you. If every house is perfect and every offer needs to happen immediately, slow down. Some homes do require urgency, truth be told, but urgency should come with explanation. Two, they do not know the market. They cannot explain comps, neighborhoods, pricing, inventory, offer strategy, and that's a real problem. Three, they pressure you. There's a difference between giving strong advice and pushing you into something that you don't want to do. Four, they don't communicate clearly. If you're constantly chasing them before you are ever under contract, it probably will not get you better once things get stressful. Five, they act like their only job is showing houses. And that's not enough. You need someone who can guide, advise, negotiate, and communicate. Now let's get into the mortgage side. And that's my favorite side. That's where I've spent the past 20 years. Your mortgage professional should not just tell you what rate they have. Rate's important-ish. Nobody's saying that it's not. But if the entire conversation is only about rate, you're missing a lot. Your mortgage professional should help you understand the full picture. It starts with what you can qualify for, but more importantly, what payment are you comfortable with? How much money do you need for down payment and closing costs? What loan options fit your situation? Because by the way, not every loan option's the best loan option. What are the pros and cons of each option? There we go. What documents are needed? What could create problems? What should you avoid doing before closing? This is where good advice can save you a lot of pain. Here's an example. A good mortgage professional should not just say, you're pre-approved for $500,000. That number alone is not enough. They should help you understand what that price means as a monthly payment. They should talk you through taxes and homeowners insurance and where it's applicable, HOA fees, and when it's necessary, mortgage insurance, as well as closing costs. They should ask you about your real life. Do you have kids? Do you travel? Do you own a business? Are you trying to pay down debt? Are you saving for something else? Are you comfortable with a higher payment, or would that make life tight? Because what you qualify for and what you should spend are rarely, I almost said never, but it's rarely the same thing. A good mortgage professional helps you think through all of that. They should also make sure your pre-approval is strong, and that's a big one. Not all pre-approvals are created equal. Some are loose. They're based on a quick conversation and a credit pull. By the way, I wouldn't call that a pre-approval. I'd call it a pre-qualification. Others are based on reviewed income, assets, credit, employment, and real understanding of the file. We call that data integrity. And that is very important. When you're trying to make a strong offer, and especially in a competitive market, you need your financing to be solid. You want your realtor to feel confident. You want the listing agent to feel confident. You want the seller to feel confident. A weak pre-approval can hurt you. A strong pre-approval can 100% help you compete and sometimes help you negotiate a better sales price. So when you're choosing a mortgage professional, ask them about their process. Do they review documents up front? Do they explain your numbers clearly? Do they communicate with your realtor? Are they going to help you advocate to the seller to get the best offer accepted possible? Do they call the listing agent when they need to? Do they give you real guidance before you start shopping? Or do they just fire off a pre-approval letter and disappear into the lender witness protection program? By the way, you want a pre-approval. You do not want a pre-qualification. Let's get into mortgage red flags. 1, your lender only talks about rate. Again, rate is important, but it's not the whole picture. 2, they give vague numbers. If you ask about payment, cash to close, or loan options, and they cannot explain clearly, that's going to be a problem. 3, they don't ask detailed questions from you. A good mortgage professional needs to understand your income, your debts, your assets, your credit, your employment, and your financial goals. If they are not asking, they may not know enough to guide you. 4, they're hard to reach. Buying a home moves fast. If you cannot get answers when you need them, that can create real problems for you. 5, they do not explain the process. You should not feel confused every step of the way. You may not understand every mortgage detail, and you do not need to, but you should understand what is happening, why it's happening, and what comes next. Now, here are some things that buyers overlook. Your realtor and your mortgage professional need to work together. They do not need to be best friends. They do not need to have matching jackets, but they need to communicate consistently. A strong realtor and a strong mortgage professional working together makes the process much smoother for you. Your realtor needs to know your financing strength before writing offers. They don't need to know your credit score. They don't need to know how much money you make, but they need to know your strengths. Your mortgage professional needs to understand contract timeliness. They need to coordinate on seller credits, appraisal issues, inspection timelines, closing dates, and anything else that could affect the deal. That's where lenders and realtors have to work together. When they are disconnected, I promise you, you feel it. You end up being the messenger between two professionals, which, by the way, is ridiculous. You are already buying the house. You should not also have to project manage the adults you hired. That is why choosing the right team up front is so important. So how do you actually interview them? Let's keep this simple. For a realtor, you ask questions like, how well do you know the area I'm buying in? How do you help buyers decide what to offer? How do you handle multiple offer situations? How do you help spot red flags in a home? How do you communicate with me during the process? What should I know about this market before I start shopping? Those questions will tell you a lot. Now, for the mortgage professionals, you're going to ask them these types of questions. What loan options might fit my situation? How do you determine what I can qualify for? How do you help me figure out a comfortable payment? What documents do you review before issuing a pre-approval? How do you communicate with my realtor during the process? What could create issues for my approval? How often will I hear from you once I'm under contract? Again, you're not trying to become a mortgage expert. You're trying to figure out whether this person knows how to guide you. And pay close attention to how they answer. Do they explain things clearly? Do they slow down and make sure you understand? Do they answer the actual question? Do they make you feel rushed? Do they make everything sound too easy? Do they talk to you like a human being or like they are reading off a laminated script from 2009? That stuff tells you a lot. And that leads me to wanting to talk to you about referrals. A referral is a great starting point. If a friend, family member, coworker, or trusted professional recommends someone, that is helpful. But do not stop there. Still ask questions. Still make sure they are the right fit for you. Just because someone did a good job for your cousin 3 years ago does not automatically mean they are the best fit for your situation. Interview them. Compare how they communicate. Make sure you feel comfortable. And do not choose someone only because they are a friend or family member. That can work out great. It can also get awkward really fast. You want someone competent, responsive, honest, and experienced enough to help you navigate the process. Being related to you is not a qualification. Thanksgiving is not a license. Same thing with choosing based only on the lowest rate or lowest fee. You should absolutely compare numbers. You should understand cost. You should ask questions, but the cheapest option is not always the best option if the service is poor, the communication is weak, or for lenders, the loan is not structured properly. A slightly cheaper loan can become very expensive if the transaction falls apart, your closing gets delayed, you lose your deposit, or you miss out on the right house. The goal is not to overpay. The goal is to choose wisely. You want fair pricing, strong advice, clear communication, and execution. That combination is what you are looking for. And here's the big takeaway. Before you buy the house, choose the team. The house is the emotional part. The team is the strategic part. A good realtor helps you find the right property and negotiate the right deal. A good mortgage professional helps you understand the money, prepare for financing, and which things to avoid so you eliminate surprises. Together, they can make the process feel organized, clear, and manageable. But if you choose poorly, even a great house can become a stressful experience. So take the time up front, ask better questions, look for people who educate, look for people who communicate, look for people who tell you the truth, look for people who protect your interest. That is how you make a better home buying decision. Not just by finding the prettiest house online, not just by clicking the first sponsored ad, not just by choosing the person who answers with the most confidence, but the least substance. Choose the people who can guide you. Because the right team does not just help you buy a home, the right team helps you buy with confidence. And if you are thinking about buying a home and you do not know where to start, use the link we have in this description. We can get you connected with a TLOP approved real estate professional, as well as a TLOP approved lender who can help guide you in the right direction. Someone who understands the process, knows how to communicate, and can help you take the next step the right way. That's it for today. I'm Dustin Owen. This is the DO Show. We'll catch you on the next one.